Okay, let me discuss a small concept with you till the time ma'am joins. Then obviously ma'am will take over. So, do you know the concept of round robin?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, and knockout. So, did you know that India won the World Cup match?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, any idea how many matches were there in the World Cup? So, the recently concluded World Cup match had 55 matches in total. And what was the pattern of these matches? Let me just discuss with you. So, you must be knowing that there were 4 pools, right? Or 2 pools
Yes,
in the
sir.
starting. In the
So,
starting, there were 4 pools, right? And in each pool, how many teams were there? Any idea?
5.
5 teams in each pool. Okay. So there were 5 teams, like in Indian thing, I guess. India was there, Pakistan was there. Okay, Afghanistan was there. Right. So Afghanistan was there, Canada was there, and USA was there. Right. So there were 5 teams. So what was the first round that happened amongst these 5 teams? Every team played a match with every other team. Every team played a match with every other team. So can you tell me, India played how many matches?
4.
4.
Exactly. Pakistan must also have played 4 matches. Afghanistan must also have played 4 matches. Canada must also have played 4 matches. USA must also have played 4 matches. How? India played with Pakistan, India played with Afghanistan, India played with Canada, India played with USA. So 4 matches. Similarly, Pakistan played with India, Pakistan played with Afghanistan, with Canada, with USA, and so on. So in total, how many matches are supposed to happen then? 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. That is 4 into 5, that is 20. So do you think actually 20 matches happened in this particular round, or this particular pool?
No, sir.
Right. So what is the thing which I'm missing here?
Elimination of teams.
No, but in that particular round, see, luckily we are here, 5 of us are here. Gauri is here, Hannah is here, Rachel is there, Kavita ma'am is there, and I am here. Right, my name is Nikhil. So if I say that we play a particular game of chess, let's say. So, Gauri, how many matches will you play?
4.
Right, one with Hannah, one with Rachel, one with Kavita ma'am, and one with me. Okay, Hannah, how many matches you will play? How many new matches you will play? My question is now a little different from the earlier one. How many
So-
new matches will you play?
3 new matches?
Exactly. So Hannah will not consider the match which already happened with Gauri because Gauri played with Hannah or Hannah plays with Gauri. That is one and the same thing. So the new matches that actually Hannah played were 3. Now, Rachel,
Yes, sir.
how many new matches did you play?
3.
2. You will not consider the match which happened with Hannah or Gauri. You will only consider the match which happened with Kavita ma'am and me. Okay. Similarly, Kavita ma'am will not consider the matches which happened with Rachel, Gauri, or Hannah because they have already been considered. Okay. And Kavita ma'am will be taking up how many matches or playing how many matches? 1 new match. And how many new matches I will be playing? 0. So the summation of this would be the total number of matches which actually happened. And that would be the half of this as well. Okay. So if you will add up all these values, you'll get the summation as to be 10, which is also the summation of 4 into 5 upon 2. Now, this concept where every team plays 1 match with every other team, that concept is called round robin. Now, did you understood the concept of round robin? It's just like the handshake problem, which is the concept of PNC as well. And on that particular thing, there's a movie also. There's a handshake problem seen in a particular movie called Super 30. Just YouTube Super 30 handshake problem, and you will get a very beautiful video or multiple videos as of now, which would discuss this particular thing with you. If there are 30 students and everyone is supposed to shake hand with everyone else, so how many handshakes will happen? Can you guess the answer now?
29 handshakes?
29 handshakes, so only one person will do.
Yeah.
The first person will do 29 handshakes. The second person will do 28 handshakes. The new handshakes.
Yeah.
Similar,
So it will
20,
progressively get less.
may I beg your pardon?
It will progressively get less
Right.
as the next
It would
student
be a
goes.
summation from 1 to 29. Okay. And there's a particular formula for that as well, which we will discuss with you when we'll consider this particular portion or chapter. But as of now, it was just food for thought for you, and another reason to you for you to go to YouTube and watch some reels. So I'll take my leave now,
Thank you so much, sir.
and ma'am can
Thank
continue.
you, sir.
Acha, girls, agenda for the day is like, I was thinking over, since we are having just one class a week, why not go for grammar as well as RC as well? Like VA, RC, both the things I'm planning to cover. So,
Yes.
children, if I ask you parts of speech, you'll be able to tell me what are the parts of speech?
Nouns, adjectives, verbs.
Yeah, yeah. Nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs. Or okay. What about tenses, children? What about tenses?
Past, present, future, continuous.
Yeah, past, present, future, and then 4 branches of that. Okay. So, agenda of the day is to do 2 handouts. One would be of sentence correction, and other would be that of RC. RC would be the same dose. It will be like last week I gave you. Okay, same this week also, so as to give you a little more understanding of that. And further, we shall go ahead with little more, like then we'll increase that. Okay, children, meanwhile, I'm opening the handout so that you are able to read it, okay? And further, we shall do one grammar as well, okay? Girls, this is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children, so this we are going to read today. What is it about? That idea I'll take from you, but meanwhile, I want you to read it, and procedure will be the same like we did last week. Who's gonna read it first? Rachel?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Petra, start.
Postmodernism, a significant intellectual movement that emerged in the mid-20th century, has intensively shaped various disciplines within the humanities. Its core tenets, criticism towards grand narratives, emphasis on relativism, and a focus on the decentralization of authority and knowledge, have offered new way of understanding the world. However, these tenets have also attracted a fair share of criticism, leading to numerous debates about the validity and utility of the postmodernist approach. Given the substantial influence of postmodernism in shaping academic discourse and cultural practices, it is critical to engage in these critiques and understand their implications. The
Okay,
first
child. That's it. That's it, Rachel. Now Gauri will read it. Gauri?
The first significant criticism against postmodernism is its alleged fostering of intellectual nihilism, resulting from its incessant challenge to the existence of universal truths. Detractors of postmodernism claim that this line of thought, instead of providing a solid foundation for knowledge and belief, leads to a state of perpetual uncertainty, making all truth seem subjective. However, this criticism frequently overlooks the importance of context and power dynamics in shaping what is considered truth. Postmodernism points out that truth isn't a standalone monolith existing independently of time and space. Rather, it is intimately intertwined with cultural, societal, and historical contexts, and often serves to mirror the perspectives of those in dominant positions. An exemplary embodiment of this postmodern perspective is Michel Foucault's The Archaeology of Knowledge. Foucault meticulously deconstructs how knowledge isn't an object entity that stands beyond scrutiny. Instead, nihilism this lens fundamentally challenges the assumption of universal truth,
But
pushing.
Gauri, instead it is an intricate construct. I think missed a line.
Oh, yeah. Instead, it is an intricate construct shaped by power structures and discursive practices. Thus, far from leading towards nihilism, this lens fundamentally challenges the assumption of universal truths, pushing for a more inclusive, dynamic understanding of knowledge.
Okay, last girl, Hana, to read this one. Hana.
Yes, ma'am. A second prominent critique against postmodernism revolves around its emphasis on cultural and moral relativism, arguing that it potentially undermines shared human experiences and collective action. This critique often oversimplifies human experiences as if they are homogeneous and universally applicable. Postmodernism refutes this implication, asserting that human experiences are multi-layered and diverse, varying significantly based on individual contexts. This postmodern perspective is impressively reflected in Kimberly Crenshaw's groundbreaking concept of intersectionality. Crenshaw's work elucidates how various socio-political identities like race, gender, class intersect and uniquely shape individuals' experiences. This approach reiterates the postmodernist stance that collective action must take into account this complex interplay of diverse identities, rather than disregarding it in favor of a uniform, oversimplified understanding of human experiences.
Okay. Now, who would like to read? Now, this is voluntarily approach. Who's going to do it? The last paragraph. Gauri, you do it. Come on.
The third and final critique addressed here is the proposition that postmodernism, in its quest to challenge and dismantle power hierarchies, can unintentionally reproduce the very power structures it opposes. This critique fails to acknowledge the reflexivity inherent in postmodern thought, the awareness of its own limitations and potential pitfalls. Postmodernism doesn't just aim to give voice to marginalized groups, but strives to strike a precarious balance between representing these groups and inadvertently speaking for them, a task that requires consistent self reflection and recalibration. Gayatri Chakravarti
Spivaks.
Spivak's potent essay,
Essay.
Can the Subaltern Speak,
Subaltern speak. Yeah.
deftly captures this reflexivity. Spivak's work underscores the challenges inherent in representing the subaltern, the oppressed, marginalized voices, and emphasize the necessity, despite the difficulties, of bringing these often silenced narratives to the fore.
Finish it off, child. Hurry.
While postmodernism may seem disruptive and even counterproductive through certain lenses, a closer examination reveals its transformative potential. By probing into criticisms leveled against it, we find that postmodernism not only stands its grounds, but also offers invaluable insights that push the boundaries of our understanding.
Push the boundaries of our understanding. Yes, child. Now, tell me if you can, what have you understood out of it, Bachu? First of all, the term that you got here is postmodernism, right, children? Postmodernism, children, is a late 20th century style and concept. Okay. Departure from the modernism and characterized by the self-captious use of earlier styles and conventions. Postmodernism. Modernism ke baad, postmodernism. Okay. A significant intellectual movement. It is what? Significant, very specific intellectual movement that emerged in the mid-20th century. Has extensively shaped with various disciplines. What has it shaped? Various disciplines within the humanities. Now, what is humanities? We all are coming under the category of humanities, yes or no?
Yes.
Its core tenets are, now what do you understand by core tenets in core? Basic, important, isn't it? And what are the tenets? Actually, you should go on writing the meanings as well, or at least go on indicating the words that you will go on writing the meaning later on. Okay, children, so tenets will be the principles or beliefs that have come from some major principle. Okay, and what was that major principle? That was of the 20th century, mid-20th century, which started, that was postmodernism. Got it, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Children's skepticism towards grand narratives, emphasizing on a relativism. Now, this relativism to be all understand. and a focus on the decentralization, decentralization here is, okay, of authority and knowledge. Basically, what was it focusing on? Decentralization of authority and knowledge have offered a new ways of understanding the world. New ways of understanding the world. The world is not like this, isn't it? The way we have been considering it to be, that there are some superpowers and others cannot do anything. No, it's not like this. Now, Ukraine can go against Russia, isn't it? However, these channels have also attracted a fair share of criticism. Every time it doesn't go fair, no, sometimes you get criticism also. So it has attracted criticism also, leading to numerous debates about the validity, about what? Validity and utility of the postmodernist approach. Given the substantial influence of postmodernism in shaping of the given the substantial influence of postmodernism in shaping academic discourse and cultural practices, it is critical to engage with these critics and understand their implications. What are they thinking? Okay, we need to understand that as well. Further, the first significant, now see, this was just the introduction. Further, he says the first significant criticism against postmodernism is alleged fostering of intellectual nihilism. What is this nihilism, children? So, children, nihilism is rejection of all religions and moral principles. Rejection of all religions and moral principles. Okay, so the first criticism against postmodernism is this belief that it's alleged fostering of intellectual nihilism resulting from its incessant challenge to the existence of universal truths. Existence of universal truths. Detractors of the postmodernism. Now, who are the detractors? I will tell you to guess the meaning of it, children. A person who criticizes the ways of the other person. Claim that this line of uncertainty making all truth seem subjective. This seems to be subjective. However, this criticism frequently overlooks the importance of context and power dynamics in shaping what is considered as truth. Postmodernism points out that truth isn't a stand-alone monolith. Now, what is this monolith, children? Monolith, like olden times, there used to be stones. They used to inscribe on the stones. Okay, so monolith is that only particular large single standing block of stone inscribed with something. So he says not only stand-alone monolith existing independently of the time and space, rather it is intimately intertwined with cultural, societal, and historical contexts, and often serves to mirror the perspectives of those. Mirror the perspective. It shows us the perspective of those who in dominant positions. Children, how does the society move due to the influential people's move? An exemplary embodiment of this postmodern perspective is Michel Foucault's The Archaeology of Knowledge. So Michel Foucault's theory is there, according to which there is no truth, there is no intelligence, particularly. It goes on changing lifelong, and that changes according to the circumstances. Okay. Foucault meticulously deconstructs how knowledge isn't an objective entity. Knowledge isn't an objective entity that stands beyond scrutiny. Instead, it is an intricate construct. It is an intricate construct shaped by the power, structures, and discursive practices. Now, power structures, do we understand? What about discursive practices, children? If you can tell me. Yeah, girls, are you there? Discursive will come from discussion. Okay? Yes or no? Girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Gacho. Thus, far from leading towards nihilism, this lens fundamental. Now, what would be the meaning of lens over here? It would be
Looking through a particular perspective or
very
our
nice. Yes, very good. This particular perspective of this critic. Okay. fundamentally challenges the assumption of universal truth. What does it challenge? It challenges the assumption of universal truth, pushing for a more inclusive dynamics understanding of knowledge. Now, this is the first para, introductory para. We did, then first para, this was introduction to the main idea. Now comes the second prominent critic against postmodernism. See, it has been given in a detail. Like last week, I told you about the structure of the passage, no? This I am emphasizing on the structure of the passage as well. A second prominent critic against postmodernism revolves around the emphasis on cultural and moral relativism. Cultural and moral relativism, arguing that it potentially undermines shared human experiences and collective action. This critique often oversimplifies human experiences as if they are homogeneous. What's the meaning of homogeneous?
Similar.
Similar, alike, yes. Universally applicable. And what are they? Universally applicable. It can be applied anywhere in the world. Okay. Postmodernism refutes this simplification, asserting that human experiences are multi-layered and diverse. How are the human experiences? Multi-layered and diverse, varying significantly based on individual context. Like you will have a different opinion, at the same time, I may have a different opinion, right? This postmodernism perspective is impressively reflected in Timur Francho's groundbreaking concept of intersectionality. Francho's work elucidates how various socio-political identities like race, gender, and class intersect and uniquely shape individuals' experience. So, if you think about Maya Angelou, have you read about Maya Angelou? The Caged Bird. Who has read The Caged Bird?
Yes, ma'am.
You have read. Okay. Acha, now, if CBSE people are sitting here, they might have read about Nelson Mandela.
Yes, ma'am.
What
Yes,
did
ma'am.
he? Yeah, very good, children. What did he fight for? Apartheid. He fight for apartheid. That is racism, isn't it? So various people, whatever circumstances and conditions they go through, they are uniquely shaped according to their experience. This approach reiterates the postmodern stance. Now, what is this stance, children? Feeling that collective action must take into account this complex interplay of diverse identities. Which identities? Diverse, different identities, right? Rather than disregarding it in favor of a uniform, oversimplified understanding of human experience. Oversimplified of human experience. So what does it refute? This is the refutal, no? That it should not be done disregarding it in favor of the uniform, oversimplified understanding of human experiences. These were the two critics. Now comes the third critic. The third and the final critic addressed here is a proposition that postmodernism, in its quest to challenge and dismantle power, put into pieces power, hierarchies, can unintentionally reproduce the very power structure it opposes. Maybe you are going to oppose, but unknowingly, unintentionally, you are creating another kind of structure, isn't it? Which is going to dominate the society. This critic fails to acknowledge that reflexivity inherent in the postmodern thought, the awareness of its own limitations and potential pitfalls. Awareness of its own limitations and potential pitfalls. Postmodernism doesn't just aim to give voice to marginalized groups. It doesn't aim at only the marginalized groups, but strives to strike a precarious balance between representing these groups and inadvertently speaking for them. A task that requires consistent self-reflection and recalibration. Got it, children? Self-reflection and recalibration. Gayatri Chakraborty's 5x potent essay, Can the Subaltern? Now, subaltern, children, please write the word meaning. It is an officer in British Army. Okay. Speak deftly captures these reflexivities. 5x work underscores the challenges inherent in representing the subaltern, the oppressed, marginalized voices, and emphasizes the necessity, despite the difficulties of bringing these often silenced narratives to the fore. Form is front. These people, their voices, who listens to them, isn't it? While postmodernism may seem disruptive, how does it seem, children? Disruptive, dangerous, and even counterproductive. What's the meaning of counterproductive, children? Having the opposite of what you were aiming, the desired effect that you were wanting, it comes just the opposite of that. Okay? Seems disruptive and even counterproductive through certain lenses. Lenses, just now, I think Rachel was giving us the meaning. A closer examination reveals this transformation potential by probing into the criticism leveled against. We find that postmodernism not only stands its ground, but also offers invaluable insights that push the boundaries of our understanding. What does it do? It pushes the boundaries of our understanding. To some extent, you have understood, children?
Yes,
Girls?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what will be, what we are going to do now? We are going to find the main sentences, the key sentences. I'm going to give you in a break like this, like last week I gave you, isn't it? And again, we are going to take the key ideas out of it. You'll be writing your own number there in your register that you have to give you. Okay? And this time it is going to be read by whom? Who's going to be the beginner? I think Hannah should begin with it. Hannah, come on, child.
Yes, ma'am. Postmodernism, a significant intellectual movement that emerged in the mid 20th century, has extensively shaped various disciples within the humanities.
Disciplines.
Go-
Bacha. Discipline.
Sorry, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Various disciplines within the humanities. Its core tenets, skepticism towards grand narratives, emphasis on relativism, and a focus on the decentralization of authority and knowledge have offered new ways of understanding the world. However, these tenets have also attracted a fair share of criticism, leading to numerous debates about the validity and utility of the postmodernist approach. Given the substantial influence of postmodernism in shaping academic discourse and cultural practices, it is critical to engage with these critiques and understand their implications.
Okay, fine. So, Bacha, what do you feel is the key idea over here in the first paragraph? Rachel, what is your answer, Bacha?
Second.
You say number 2. It's 4 tenants. Okay. What about Gauri?
Ma'am, 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was I was wanting to say, Rachel, you can take more than one sentence. Okay. Anna, what is your answer, bache?
Same, ma'am. 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay. Not any other one. The last one.
I would still go with the first and second one, ma'am. I
Okay.
feel like the last one does not go a little in depth. It's,
Maybe I'm
Yeah.
distracting you. Don't take it seriously this way. It's just your exam going on, your test. So you have indicated there for paragraph number 1 your answers. All of you all have indicated, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Now Gauri is going to read second para.
The first significant criticism against postmodernism is its alleged fostering of intellectual nihilism, resulting from its incessant challenge to the existence of universal truths. Detractors of postmodernism claim that this line of thought, instead of providing a solid foundation for knowledge and belief, leads to a state of perpetual uncertainty, making all truth seem subjective. However, this criticism frequently overlooks the importance of context and power dynamics in shaping that is considered the truth. Postmodernism points out that truth isn't a standalone monolith existing independently of time and space. Rather, it is intimately intertwined with
Cultural.
cultural, societal, and historical contexts, and often serves to mirror the perspectives of those in dominant positions. An exemplary embodiment of this postmodern perspective is Michel Foucault's The Archaeology of Knowledge. Foucault's meticulously deconstructs how knowledge isn't an objective entity that stands beyond scrutiny. Instead, it is an intricate construct shaped by power structures and discursive practices. Thus, far from leading towards nihilism, this lens fundamentally challenges the assumption of universal truths, pushing for a more inclusive, dynamic understanding of knowledge.
What should be the key idea over here? First of all, it is the first significant criticism which comes. What is its idea? What does he claim for? See, you can take keywords from all the paragraph and frame your own idea as well. Okay, or you can take basically one or two sentences, whatever you feel like. Just now, my aim is to put you on taking the key sentences and indicating second para in your register, wherever you're writing, and write your answer over there. What is Rachel's answer for this thing? Second para? Okay, Hana, what is your answer, bacha?
I would pick 6, 7, and 9.
Okay, fine. You write your numbers there. Gauri, what are your numbers?
Ma'am, 5, 6, 7.
No, okay. Write it down there. Okay. And Rachel, come on. Good girl. Hurry up.
And 6 and
Okay.
7.
6 and 7. Okay, you've written. Okay. So second para is done. Okay. And now comes third para. This is going to be read by just now. Who has read it?
Gauri.
Gauri. So Rachel should read it. Rachel, start.
The second prominent critique against postmodernism revolves around its emphasis on cultural and moral relativism, arguing that it is potentially undermines shared human experiences and collective action. This critique often oversimplifies human
Oversimplifies. Yeah.
oversimplifies human experiences as if they are homogeneous and universally applicable. Postmodernism refutes its implication and
This simplification,
asserting that human experiences are multi-layered and diverse, varying significantly based on individual contexts. This postmodern perspective is impressively reflected in Calvary Crenshaw's groundbreaking concept of intersectionality. Crenshaw's work elucidates how various social, political identities like race, gender, class intersect and uniquely shape individuals' experiences. This approach reiterates the postmodernism stance that collective action must take into account this complex interplay of diverse identities rather than disregarding it in favor of a uniform, simplified understanding of human experiences.
Oversimplified understanding of human experiences. Okay, children. So, what should be the second prominent critic's idea, the key sentence that we should be taking as our answer? Hannah, what should be the answer, bache?
I think 17 and 18.
Okay, fine. You write your numbers there. What about Gauri and Rachel? Come on, girls.
16 and 18.
Okay, fine. This is Rachel telling me, right? Rachel, you may write your numbers. And Gauri, what are your answer numbers?
Ma'am, 14, 16, and 18.
Fine. So you written it. Okay. And now we begin again with Hannah, I suppose. Hannah, please start, child.
Yes, ma'am. The third and final critique addressed here is the proposition that postmodernism, in its quest to challenge and dismantle power hierarchies, can unintentionally reproduce the very power structures it opposes. This critique fails to acknowledge the reflexivity inherent in postmodern thought, the awareness of its own limitations and potential pitfalls. Postmodernism doesn't just aim to give voice to marginalized groups, but strives to strike a precarious balance between representing these groups and inadvertently speaking for them, a task that requires consistent self-reflection and recalibration. Gayatri Chakravarti, Spivak's potent essay, Can the Subaltern Speak?" Deftly captures this reflexivity. Spivak's work underscores the challenges inherent in representing the subaltern, the oppressed, marginalized voices, and emphasizes the necessity, despite the difficulties, of bringing these often silenced narratives to the fore.
Okay, finish it off, child. Acha, first. Read it. Yes, child, read it.
While postmodernism may seem disruptive and even counterproductive, through certain lenses, a closer examination reveals its transformative potential by probing into the criticisms leveled against it. We find that postmodernism not only stands its ground, but also offers invaluable insights that push the boundaries of our understanding.
Very nice. Okay. So, girls, all of you all are going to tell me what are your answer from line number 20 or can say fourth para. Come on, what is your key idea over there?
20 and 22 and 23 also.
Okay, fine. You write it down your number. This was Rachel telling me, right? No.
Yes.
Good girl. Come on, Gauri and Hana, what are your answer sentences, bachon?
21 and 22.
Fine. You write it down. And you also write, Gauri. What is it?
20, 22, and 23.
Fine. And what about the last, where the 24th line that you're getting, out of 24 and 25, which one do you feel should be your key sentence over here? That which gives the gist
25.
of the para. 25, you say. Okay.
25.
25. 25. Okay. All three of you have given the same answer. 25. Now, your answers are all there, and 5 paragraphs or 6 paragraphs. How many paragraphs you have covered?
5.
We have covered altogether 5 paragraphs. Okay, so this is going to be out of 5 only, children. I'm going to show you the answers. We're going to read it as well. Come on, here we go. Here comes the first para. What is the key sentence here, children? Its core tenets, skepticism towards grand narratives, emphasizes on relativism, and a focus on the decentralization of authority and knowledge. I think some of you have said this answer, no? 2 and 3. Gauri said it? Yes or no?
Ma'am, I said 1 and 2.
1 and 2. This is Rachel telling me. So, Rachel, you get half a mark there for
Yes,
second sentence. Okay. What about Hana? What was your answer, Hana?
Ma'am, 3 and 4.
3 and 4. So, again, you get half a mark there. What about you, Gauri? What was your answer?
Ma'am, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Okay, so half and half has been given to all. Okay. Now, when it comes to second para, children, the first significant criticism against postmodernism is its alleged fostering of intellectual nihilism resulting from its incessant challenge to the existence of universal truth. Who has marked this answer? Nobody? Rather, it is intimately intertwined with the cultural, societal, and historical context and often serves to mirror the perspectives of those in dominant positions. I think somebody who said this.
Ma'am, I just said 5.
You just said 5. Okay. So 5, you will again get there half a mark. And what about other 2 girls?
Ma'am, I had given 9.
9. Okay, you also get half a mark there. Bacho, I go now to third para. A second prominent critic against postmodernism revolves around its emphasis on cultural and moral relativism, arguing that it potentially undermines shared human experiences and collective action. Have you marked this answer, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Very nice. Give mark to yourself. Postmodernism refutes this simplification, asserting that human experiences are multi-layered and diverse, varying significantly based on individual contexts. Have you marked it? Honestly, give marks to yourself, children.
Yes, ma'am.
We go ahead with the second last para. The third and the final critic addressed here is a proposition that postmodernism, in its quest to challenge and dismantle power hierarchies, can unintentionally reproduce the very power structure it opposes. Postmodernism doesn't just aim to give voice to marginalized groups, but strives to strike a precarious balance between representing these groups and inadvertently speaking for them, a task that requires consistent self-reflection and recalibration. I think some of you were saying, no, 22, somebody has said?
Ma'am, Rachel.
Rachel has said. Rachel, very good, bacha. Write it down there. Give mark to yourself. And I think last period, everybody has given the correct answer. By probing into the criticism leveled against it, we find that postmodernism not only stands its ground, but also offers invaluable insights that push the boundaries of our understanding. How many marks are there? Come on, tell me. Rachel, how many?
3.5.
Okay. Gauri,
4.
Hana,
4.
4. Okay, bachon. So here we go now with the structure of it. Children, what is the central theme? There are 3 things given. Last week I read it myself. This week I will tell one, all 3 of you to read. And further we'll move ahead with grammar exercise. Okay, children? So central theme will be read by Hana.
The passage discusses postmodernism, an influential intellectual movement characterized by skepticism towards grand narratives and emphasis on relativism. It highlights the major criticisms raised against postmodernism and explains how they are addressed within the postmodernist framework.
Okay, among the society. Now, tone will be read by Gauri.
The tone of the passage could be considered argumentative, as the author is presenting an argument in defense of postmodernism against various criticisms. The author presents the criticisms against postmodernism and then disputes each one by arguing that they are either based on oversimplification or misunderstandings of postmodernist principles. In making these counter arguments, the author refers to key thinkers and their works in the field to support the points being made.
Points being. So what is actually the tone of the this one passage, if I ask you?
Argumentative.
Argumentative, okay. And analytical also? It is analyzing the situation, then giving us the conclusion. Basically, it is argumentative, right? The structure will be read by Rachel. Rachel?
Structure of the passage. The passage begins by introducing postmodernism and its influence, para 1. It then represents the three major criticisms against postmodernism, each in its own para. In each case, the criticism is first stated in sentences 5, 14, 20, and then critically evaluated and refuted with examples of works that embody the postmodernism perspective. Sentences 7 to 13, 16 to 19, 22 to 23. The passage concludes by reinforcing the transformative potential of postmodernism despite these criticisms. The last para.
That's the last para. Okay. So with this, we come to the end of it. Children, now grammar I'm planning to do with you. Shall we? What do you say, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children. So here comes grammar. Sentence correction. Last week, did I tell you what will be the bifurcation of VARC? RC, so just now we are doing RC where you get 4 into 4 MCQs there. Okay. And verbal ability, children, you'll be getting para jumbles, sentence correction, odd one out. This type of questions will be there. When you get sentence correction, how will you correct unless you know what actually should be the syntax of the sentence and what tenses and all are. Okay. So tenses I'm going to take today. And what is tense, children, if you can tell me?
The time frame
Time frame of what?
of events if they have taken place in the past or present or future.
Okay. Past, present, or future. Okay. Now, what are the forms of it, children? Simple, continuous. Continuous is also known as progressive, and then perfect and perfect continuous, right? Achha, one more I wanted to show you for this. Achha, 1 minute. I'll take you. Okay, children, let us start it. If you'll get stuck anywhere, then again I'll give you some bifurcation of that, of the tenses. This thing I'll show you. Okay, so here it is on your screen, children, where there are sentences given and you're going to correct them. And if there is no correction, you'll tell me, ma'am, there is no correction at all. Right? What is the first sentence that you read over there?
My dog is barking a lot, but he is not barking at the moment.
Okay, is there any mistake there in this sentence?
Yes, ma'am. I think
Okay.
it would be my dog barks a lot, but he is
Ye-
not barking at the moment.
Very nice. My dog barks a lot. This is the mistake over there. Okay, so this is to be marked. Okay. And you may write it over there. And if I tell you to write the whole sentence, then it would be very time taking. So we'll go ahead like this. Okay. One by one, you people will be solving the sentences. Okay. So this was Rachel solving it. Next, Hannah, read the second sentence, bache.
I am not able to believe that my own brother betrayed me.
Okay.
So I think the error would be that I cannot believe that my own brother betrayed me.
No, that is in present tense. I am not able to believe. That still exists here with me.
I can't believe.
No, I'm not able to believe. No, I'm not able to believe. That is correct.
Okay.
This is simple present. Okay. The
Okay.
simple present further changes to present perfect. So make it past present perfect here.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay. Try. Others also try, Bacho. What should be the answer here? I'm telling you, I'm giving you the hint. You'll have to make it here present perfect. How will you make it?
Had betrayed, has betrayed.
Has betrayed. Has betrayed. Can it be had?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, it cannot be because we are saying present perfect. Hai na? So present perfect goes with has. Okay. Come on now. Third sentence will be read by the third girl, Gauri. Someone, Gauri.
The train is being late by 4 hours. So I think it should be the train is late by 4 hours.
Correct. Train is late by 4 hours. So what will be removed from here? This will be removed. Okay. Come on. Next. Now again, Rachel, your turn.
Tomorrow at this time we will watch a movie.
So what will be the correction here? Tomorrow. Tell me which tense it is.
Future.
Tomorrow at this time. So here some change has to be there. What is the change? Come on, all of you are supposed to try. What will-
Tomorrow at this time we will be watching a movie.
Very nice. It is future continuous tense. Will be watching. Okay. So be will be added here and verb will carry ing. Okay. Continuous tense. Come on, next girl to go ahead with the next question. Hurry up. Number 5. Whose turn it is? Gauri, your turn, I suppose.
By the end of the month, he will save enough money to purchase a laptop for himself.
So by the end of the month is going on. By the end of the month, it is future perfect tense. Okay. So how do we make future perfect tense, children?
He will have saved enough money.
Ah, very nice. He will have saved enough money to purchase a laptop. Very good. Come on, next, whose turn it is? Hannah's turn. Hannah,
Yes,
number
ma'am.
6. Yeah, bacha.
He
Read
is in
number six.
He is in hospital since his accident. I think it can be written as he has been in the hospital since his accident.
Correct. Very correct. Very correct. Agreed. Okay. Next goes to Rachel.
We have reached the auditorium before the program had started.
Okay. So how will you correct it, bacha?
We have reached the program before the program had started.
Okay. Any other answer? Gauri, your answer?
We had reached the auditorium before the program started.
Okay. Hannah, your answer?
I think I would go with the same sentence.
Same as it is given.
Yeah.
Okay, bachcho. Chalo. Now, one rule to be kept in mind that it cannot be two perfects in a sentence. Okay. So this head and this head. Out of it, one is to be eliminated. Okay. And where can we, first of all, tell me it is past perfect or present perfect?
Present perfect?
Gandhi baat. It's not present perfect. Present
Past
perfect,
perfect.
past perfect. Present perfect is with has and have. Past perfect is with have. Present perfect has for singular, have for plural, and had in the past tense for both singular as well as plural. Okay. When simple past followed by past perfect. Okay. Here the sentence should be we reached the auditorium. So this head will be removed before the program had started. Okay.
Ma'am, how do we decide which one to be removed?
See which action has taken place
Reaching
first.
the auditorium?
So that is the simple past
Okay.
followed by past perfect. This I am in conversation with Rachel. Say for example, I am in conversation with Rachel and yesterday me, Gauri and Hannah, we had gone to the auditorium. Okay. And this I am conveying to Rachel. Oh, Rachel, do you know we reached the auditorium before the program had started? Means we almost started at the last moment, but in spite of that, we were able to make it to reach before the program starts. But why I am saying had started? Because actually the whole thing has happened yesterday. Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
now whose turn is to read this one? Number 8.
Lions will live in dens.
Okay.
Lions live in dens.
Yeah, very good. This has to be cancelled. It's not required here, but it's a fact. Okay. Okay. Now next, Rachel. Come on, Rachel.
He has refused to meet me yesterday.
Hmm.
He had refused to meet me yesterday.
He had refused to meet me yesterday. Next, this one, Hannah. Come on, bache.
I hope my son will complete his homework by the time I return. I hope my son would have completed his homework by the time
Will have completed.
will have completed his homework.
Okay, chalo, done. This is done. Now next, whose turn it is? Gauri's turn.
I don't see anything here worth to buy. I don't see anything here worth buying.
Worth buying. Very good. Very good. Correct. Next. I think Rachel. Rachel, come on.
The 10 candidates have been called for the interview, but only 6 attended.
Have attended. Here it will be have attended. Okay. Have been called. 10 candidates have been called for the interview, but only how many attended? But can I put here to have? Means I called them yesterday. Today there was the interview and 6 of them have come. So what will be here? Yesterday I'm saying. Yesterday. What will be
10
here?
candidates had been called for the interview.
Very good. Very good. It would be had. Yes. Okay, children. Come on, next. 13th one. Who is going to read? Whose turn it is? Rachel. Rachel. Okay, it was Rachel only, so Hannah should read it.
How many children do Ramesh have?
Hmm.
How many children does Ramesh have?
Very good. Correct. Okay. Next one. Gauri.
His personal locker was opened and his documents stolen. So his personal locker was opened and his documents were stolen.
Hmm. So what was the action done before and followed by the action?
Yeah, so his documents were stolen.
Documents were stolen, but personal locker had been opened, no? And documents were stolen. His personal locker, what happened?
Had been stolen?
Had been opened. पहले locker खुलेगा, after that document चोरी होगा ना?
So his personal locker had been opened and his documents were stolen.
Yes. Okay. Now next one, who's going to tell me? Gauri. It was Gauri telling me the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now Rachel. Rachel, tell me.
The doctor had convinced that the new treatment was quite effective for its acne.
So what should be there?
The doctor has convinced.
See, convinced will take object. Convinced me, it should be there. The doctor convinced me that the new treatment, now he has convinced me. So it will be here, is quite effective for addicts like me. Since you're doing it, are you doing it, this type of exercise for the first time, children?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. No problem. Come on, sentence number 16. Who is going to do? Gauri should do or Rachel should do?
The two thieves were arrested on the charge of stealing a bank.
What is the mistake here? Thieves have been arrested. Okay. What was their charge?
Stealing a bank.
Okay. So is it correct here?
I think so. I don't.
But can you steal a bank? Or you can rob a bank?
Okay.
So what should be the correction?
Robbing a bank.
Yes. Okay. Robbing a bank. Right? Now it's Hannah's turn. Hannah, read the next one.
No sooner the program began than the lights were switched off.
Tell me what should be the correction here?
No sooner the program began that the lights were switched off.
No. Achha.
No
Right.
sooner did the program begin than the lights were switched off.
This is Gauri telling me the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Gauri, very good. You have done up till class 10th ICSE. Last
Yes,
week, I think you told me. Okay, children. So, girls, this is the structure actually. And structure, it goes like this. No sooner plus did plus V1 plus than. Now, then this is always a comparative wala then, okay? Plus rest part of the sentence, I call it. Otherwise, it is the another clause that comes after it, okay? So, structure goes like that, okay? Likewise, there are structures of no sooner did, hardly had, scarcely, when, as soon as. These all structures we shall be discussed. We shall discuss here. And here comes the last sentence, 18th sentence. Now, it's not the last sentence, but last sentence in this row. So, children, tell me what should be the correction here? It is going to be told by whom? By Hannah? Hannah? Come on, read it, Hannah.
I will lend you my car on condition that you will return it back in 2 days.
Hmm.
I will lend you my car on the condition that you will return it back in 2 days.
What correction did you make here? I will lend you my car.
On the
Hmm.
condition that you will return it back in 2 days.
So what change did you make here?
On
Acha,
the condition.
the condition. Acha, theek hai. But return, what is the meaning of return?
Return it back.
हाँ, मतलब return वापस करना, right? So back, we
You
are not
will
required.
be
हाँ, say, who is this?
you will be returning it back in 2 days.
You will be returning it in 2 days. Back will be removed from here.
Okay.
Okay.
That you will have returned it back in 2 days.
No. Will have returned it means that action has already taken place. But here the condition is that I'm going to give it to you, provided you give it back in 2 days. So you give it back or you return it. Either of it is required here. Yeah. Till now, here, still we are left with some time, no? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, children, so new sentence to be read by the girl who has not read it recently. So, come on, who is going to read it?
The shopkeeper replied her that they would send her the goods as soon as they received her check.
So, what should be the correction here?
The shopkeeper replied her that they would be sending her the goods as soon as they receive her check.
Another girl to give me the better answer than this. Children, the conversation is going between two people, the shopkeeper and the lady. Then what is the use of this they over here? The shopkeeper replied her. Now, this is the lady. Okay, this is the customer. That he would send her the goods as soon
As they had received.
they, who are they, but who are they? As soon as he
Received
Well,
it.
because shopkeeper is going to receive it now. As soon as he has yet not received it, he would receive. So is it going to be received over here or receives? What should be there?
receives.
Receives. No? As soon as he receives. Fine. Her check. Come on now. Next one to be read by Gauri. Gauri, come on, read it.
The students wanted to know when are you coming back.
Hmm.
The students want to know when will you be coming back.
Want to know. Corrected. Okay. So what else should be the correction? The students want to know when.
When will you be coming back?
Okay. When will you be coming back? When are you coming back? Nahi. Now read it.
The students want to know when you were coming back.
Is it correct?
But this is a future tense sentence.
Haan.
So how are we using were?
How are we using verb? Isn't it? It will be the students want to know when you were coming back, means this is a person. At that time, I was in discussion with, isn't it? When you were coming back, they were wanting to know. Still, now I'm telling you, at that time, they were wanting to know when you were coming back. When you will be coming back means this is simple future. If you say when you will be coming back. So it is,
if the students are asking in the like at present, like when will you be coming back? If we take it from that
perspective.
view.
So both the perspectives should be correct. Okay. The students want to know when are you coming back. The students wanted to know when you were coming back. The students wanting to know when will you be coming back. Three perspectives should be there. At that time, when it comes in the exam, you'll be given it like this in the slashes. The answer will be, and you'll be marking the part which is wrong or which is right like this. Okay. Next sentence. You can't. Acha, who is going to read the next sentence?
You can't stop me to do what I want, what I
Hmm.
wanted because I have my personal freedom of action.
Hmm.
You
So what
can't
is the
stop me to do what I wanted.
hmm. Okay. Any other correction?
You can't stop me from doing what I want because I have my personal freedom of action.
Yes. Doing. This is the correction. Yes. Okay. Now next, who is going to read? Whose turn it is? But you go on reading by your turn, so that we are able to finish it.
Now that
Hmm.
she has gone away, aren't you looking forward
Hmm.
to see her again soon?
Hmm.
Now that she has gone away, aren't
Hmm.
you looking forward to seeing her again soon?
Okay. Any other correction? Seeing her is the correction here. You're right. Okay. Okay. Next.
I'm sure you, boys and girls, will have no difficulty to pass the forthcoming exam.
Hmm.
I'm sure you, boys and girls, will have no difficulty in passing the forthcoming exam.
Very good. Very good. Very good. In passing. Correct. Okay. Next, Chani. Okay.
On the whole, I believe it was a boring weekend because I do not do anything.
Because,
I didn't do anything.
correct. Correct. Yes. Next. Okay. So next.
Lalita was burning her hand when she was cooking the dinner in the kitchen. Lalita burned her hand when she
Uh,
was cooking dinner in the kitchen.
Very good. This is the correction. Burnt her hand. Yes. Next. Everything is. Come on. Whose turn it is? Hurry up.
Everything is going well, and we didn't have any problems so far.
Hmm.
Everything is going well, and we don't have any problems so far.
Think more about it. What should the correction? Everything is going well. Present tense it is.
And we haven't had
Yes,
any
yes.
problems so far.
Haven't had any problem. Yes, correct, Stell, correct. Okay. Come on, next. Who's going to read it?
Madhava Rao has lost his passport again and is the second time this is happening. Madhava Rao has had lost his passport again and it is the second time this was happening.
Second time it has happened, na? It has happened, na? This is the second time it has happened. Has lost it? Perfect tense. Madharao has lost it. हो चुका है. And it's the second time this
Has
sec-
happened.
has happened. Here, see, under the conditions apply, it has come twice, but it is required over here. Okay. Next sentence, children, who is going to do fast? Sita has been.
Sita has been working for this company since the past 6 months.
So what is the correction here? Since, writing here, since and for. These both are used, isn't it, as prepositions. But since is for the point of time. What is it for? Point of time. And for is for the duration of time or period of time. What will you put here?
So Sita has been working for this company for the past 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Now next one, whose turn it is to read?
It's many years since I didn't see Joe, one of my close friends and classmates.
Hmm.
It's been many years since I didn't see Joe, one of my close friends and classmates.
Okay. So what will be the correction here? You are saying
It's
that
been many years
it's been many years. Say, one more correction will be there.
since I haven't seen Joe, one
Since
of
I
my.
saw. Bacha, since I saw.
Okay.
One of my close friends and classmates. Okay, next one. Whose turn?
The junior engineers have gone out after lunch and they've just come back. The junior engineers went out after lunch and they've just come back.
Correct. Okay. Next one. Hmm.
The man sitting next to me on the plane to Dubai was very nervous because he didn't fly before.
Hmm.
The man sitting next to me on the plane to Dubai was very nervous because he hasn't flown before.
What is it here? Was. What I want here? We are putting
Because
in
he
perfect.
hasn't
Had.
flown before. Hadn't
Hadn't.
flown.
Hadn't. है ना? Okay. Next. Next will be. Who's going to read next fast? Hurry up, children.
Were they having a car when they were living in New York? Did they have a car when they were living in New Delhi? Sorry.
Very good, very good. Did they have a car? Correct. Okay, now next, whose turn?
She suffered from flu when she was interviewed by a company at Madhapur last week. She was
Last one.
suffering from the flu when she
Mhm.
was interviewed by the company at Madhapur last week.
Bacha, last week, it will be past perfect tense.
Yes, ma'am.
And that time the action has taken place.
Yes,
So,
ma'am. So she suffered from the flu when she was being interviewed by a company.
been interviewed, okay, but she had been suffering from flu, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Had been suffering. Okay, next one. Who?
Each summer we are going to Shimla where we relax and enjoy the cool weather. Each summer we go to Shimla where we relax and enjoy the cool weather.
Correct. We go to Shimla. Okay, next one. Hurry up.
I have been reading the new novel by John Grisham until
Mhm.
midnight last night.
Hmm.
I had been reading the new novel by John Grisham until midnight last night.
Okay. Justify your sentence. How will you? Like, today, while I started the class, I asked teacher what all books you read. You said, ma'am, I read this, I read this. Okay. So how will you say I have been reading? So वो present perfect continuous हो गया, वो तो हटा नहीं हटाना है. How will you change this into it?
I
Simple
have
tense. I read.
I
I
read the
was
new
reading.
novel.
I read. Simple past, na? One action only has taken place. Only one action. Nothing is continuing. I'm telling this, like I happened to meet Gauri on the way and I told her, Gauri, you know what? I read that novel last night. Till what time? Until midnight. I read that first. Yes or no? Hurry up. Go ahead with the next one. Hurry up.
The car broke down in the middle of the road and we had got to get a cab.
So what
The
will be the
car
correction?
broke down in the middle of the road and we had to get a cab.
Very good. This got will be removed. Okay. Now next one.
The traffic lights at the busy MG road got
Hmm.
green and the
Hmm.
driver pulled away. The
So,
traffic lights at the busy MG road got green when the driver pulled away, or had been green when the
but
driver pulled away.
children, this
Turned
got
green.
turned green. Very good. Here, turned is required, no, not got. Okay. Rest everything is correct. Okay. Here we go. Children, hurry up. It's going to get over. Come on, fast. What happens? Come on, whose turn it is today?
What happens next at the crowded stadium was just what everyone had feared. What happened next at the crowded stadium was just what everyone had feared.
Correct. Happened it. Okay. Next.
He won't be able to go to university unless he doesn't pass all his exams in one go.
So what will be the correction?
He won't be able to go to university unless he doesn't pass.
No, it doesn't happen unless he passes. So it is
Unless
already
he-
negative. Unless he's already carrying negative, so second negative is not required. Okay. Unless he passes all his exams in one go. Last sentence of the day. Hurry up.
The new bridge linking the two cities in the north had been opened 6 months ago. The new bridge linking the two cities in the north had opened 6 months ago.
New bridge linking the two cities. Now this is the fact. Okay. Now adding on to is going to be the simple one. What should be there? Holi ja chuki hai, had been opened, or simple past was opened. What do you want to put?
Can we put had opened?
Had opened. Yes, correct. So we will remove been and we put here had opened 6 months ago, or simply it can be was opened 6 months ago. Both way it will be correct. Okay. Children, here, although handout is over, but here this practice questions are given. Would you like to go for it? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Hurry up. One question each of you will do it. Come on. Over here, the options are given. She and her brother dash their mother about the car accident. Debated to tell about, debated over to tell, debated how and if to tell, debated whether to tell. What should be the correct answer?
Debated over to tell.
Debated whether to tell.
Whether to tell. See why the debate would be there between brother and sister? Whether they are confused, they are still not able to take the decision whether they should tell or not. Okay. So whether would be the correct answer over here. Okay. Ravi dash elder brother Vasu, who is an engineer, is very closely resembling on his, has been closely resembling with his, is very closely resembling with his, closely resembles his.
Closely
Closely
resembles his.
resembles.
His. Okay. We dash your father and mother at a supermarket in town the other day.
We saw your father and mother.
Rose and Jimmy met for the first time when they dash at university.
Was studying at university.
Was studying. Margaret dash work yesterday as she wasn't feeling well.
Didn't go to work.
Didn't go to it. Correct. Perfect, Jimmy. Perfect. Okay. And that's all for the day.